Hello and welcome to another pickups video. Now it's the 23rd of February 2017. Now usually I do one of these maybe once every 3 months, and I know it's only been a month since the last time I did a pickups. So there's a couple of reasons for that which I'll go into before I actually show anything. So you know, yeah, first of all, some housekeeping. Now, the reasons basically why I'm doing a pickups video so early is because I've been, what would you call it? I've been sort of inventorying all my stuff and sort of going through it. And there's a few things that I thought I had that I don't have, so I've got a couple of things because of that. There's a few things that I'd been after that just came up at prices that I couldn't really say no to, and I've basically been inventorying all my stuff because, well, number one, because I lost the list of what I had. The definitive list of everything I had, so I had to go through everything in order to sort that out properly. And the other reason is that I possibly will be able to shift off some of the stuff that I'm not currently playing to somewhere else, so that it's not in my way for a little while. So I'm sort of being a bit picky as to what I want to keep, but I'm not actually playing at the moment, and that is going somewhere else, basically, so that it's out of my way. So I've been, I've really been doing a lot of stuff and been quite busy, and I've actually done quite a lot of shopping in between as well. So that's why it's an early video. Another piece of housekeeping: the last time I did one of these pickups, I had a Xbox console, and I said in the video that, you know, if anyone wanted to leave a comment for games that I would like to play, that I should be playing, a guy called Video Game Dude left a comment saying that I can't remember offhand what he picked, but one of the things was Psychonauts, and I wrote back something like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure I already have Psychonauts on the PS2. Well, since doing an inventory, it turns out that I don't actually have Psychonauts on the PS2, so I probably have to get that version as well. So just Video Game Dude, I don't have Psychonauts for the PS2, so although I'm pretty sure I've played it, so I don't know how that's happened without me owning it. But there you go. Mind you, I think it was a PC version. Maybe I downloaded it at some point. I don't know. Right. So yeah, this is basically going to go the same way as a pickups video. Only this is the other reason why I wanted to do it early, is because this is a reasonably shorter list. Although with quite a lot of stuff on it still, than I normally do, because I've done it so early, because I'm going to do it in a sort of event style, if you see what I mean. Normally I just go, I've got this, and that's it. But actually, this month it turns out that a lot of things have been a sort of series of events, really. Some of them have, and some of them have got little stories to go along with them as well, and maybe some complaints too. Right, so I've got my list of stuff, so that if I think I got something for an interesting price, I will certainly mention it. If I think I got ripped off, I probably won't, because it makes me look like a complete idiot. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with the first lot of stuff I got from charity shop hunting, and that was at the end of January. So that would be where are we? I should have had everything in order, really. Nope. Right. first one's Tomb Raider Underworld. This was £3 in my local Scope. And the disc, again, looks like it's never been played. They actually seem to get some quite good stuff in Scope, but £3, I thought that's at the high end of things for that. I also got Vampire Knight, which was in the British Heart Foundation. That was £1.99, so we're getting better. But somebody's obviously peeled off a sticker at some point, so I have to sort of get to that and clean up the case a little bit. But what it has done, whoever peeled off the sticker that was on here, presumably when they bought the game, has actually sort of bulged out the plastic, so the case doesn't look very nice. But then who cares? It's, you know, it's a PlayStation 2 game. I probably will play it eventually, just not for many years. Dead or Alive 2, which is one that it's basically a fighting game. It's a fighting game with bouncy boobs. Everyone knows what Dead or Alive is by now. But I didn't have it, and I don't often see it, to be fair. That again was from British Heart Foundation, £1.99. And then I assume there must have been a Friday coming up, because the next two things on my list are Aqua Kitty DX, PlayStation 4. This is bought from Limited Run. And I'm not going to go into what Limited Run are because I've done that before. And yeah, so this is basically stuff. These two are ones I've paid full price for. That's Aqua Kitty DX and Oxenfree. Now, I don't know anything about these games, and to be perfectly honest, I've stopped bothering to research them because it's pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to buy the Limited Run games, and I think I've explained why I'm doing that in previous videos, and I still may get round to doing an actual Limited Run, a video on Limited Run, and generally indie games for modern consoles anyway, so I'll go into that maybe more in depth then. Well, anyway, so if factoring in shipping, each one of them worked out at £28.89 each, so under 30 quid for those games. So there you are. Also, interestingly, I should probably mention that Limited Run are starting up a rewards program now. They've sent me through the vouchers, but they haven't. I think it's supposed to have started already, but they haven't quite got round to doing it. Now, what that entails, I don't know. I may do a separate thing on that because there's another place I want to mention that does that started doing a reward program as well, which will be later on in this video, I think. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway. So they have started doing a reward program for Limited Run. So, but yeah, it hasn't begun. They've started sending out vouchers, but the actual program hasn't begun. So I don't know what you get. Might come up at some point later. And the next thing was just a single game I bought on its own because I found it on eBay really cheap. And right, I'm going to cut that bit and nobody's going to notice. Right, so the next game on the list is one that I just bought on eBay because it was really cheap. It's Ridge Racer 7. I'm going after quite a lot of the early PlayStation 3 games that I don't have to basically fill up the holes in the collection that I've already got. And that was £2.90 including postage, so I thought that was a deal, considering that it would actually cost me more than that to go and buy it second hand at a retail shop. So there you go. Now, I did do an online order with CEX, which is a retail shop, and they tend to be at the higher scale of things, but I tend to buy things when I think they're on a deal. So basically, if something drops down in price, I will probably pull the trigger and buy it. And yeah, so that's what I've done. But hang on, I'll just get the pile here. So this was all. I think this whole list is going to be stuff, if I'm right, apart from this one, that I've ordered online from CEX in the one hit. So actually there's two I'm going to leave till last, and I will explain that when I get to them. So the first one is We Dare for the Wii. Now, this isn't particularly rare and it's never particularly expensive, but they didn't have any in stock for a little while, and then suddenly it turned up back in stock, and it basically cost me £1.92 if you factor in the postage costs as well. So I think £1.92 for a game that you don't see every day, I think is absolutely fine. I can justify that. There was one that I was actually looking for that was a bit more expensive and then suddenly dropped, and that was the Sly Trilogy, and this is Move compatible as well on the PlayStation 3. So this is all three of the Sly Cooper games on the one disc, and it's got some sort of mini games and things in it that work with the Move controllers if you want to use them. Now this came in at £10.42 including postage, which a few months ago this game was going for like £17. So when I saw it was actually just under a tenner as priced. So yeah, had to. Right, not that one. What was next? That wasn't in the right pile. I'm doing really well today. I really, really am. I've actually lost a game. I don't know where it is. Hang on. There it is. The next one on that list was Dead Space 2 Limited Edition. Now, I'm not sure what's so limited edition about it, but it does say exclusive content with Dead Space Extraction. Now, I don't know anything about this game, and the only reason I bought it is because it happened to pop up on the... if you go to the website, it will often make suggestions based on stuff that you've previously bought, a bit like how Amazon does it. And it came up and it said it was limited edition, whatever that means in a game such as this, and it was it worked out at £2.42. So, you know, why not? Take a punt. What was next? Yes. Ridge Racer Unbounded was next on the list. That came in at £4.42, and again there's quite a lot of sticker work that's going on in this box, and as you can see it's clearly been in some sort of pre-owned program before, because it's got a sticker stuck right on the manual, and this is one of these game stickers that doesn't come off very easily, although I do have a solution for them, and I will be planning on making a video about that at some point in the future once I get the equipment together and get round to doing it. So have no fear, I will get them stickers off the manuals, and there's a reasonably cheap, efficient, although time consuming way of doing it, but it does do it really well. Anyway, then I got sent two that I'm not overly happy with, but they're not ones you see every day again, so I'm going to hold on to them until I can get something that looks a little bit better. It's purely for an aesthetic reason, there's nothing actually wrong with the game. So I'll show you the first one, and that is the Warhawk, and this is the headset edition. It's got the Bluetooth headset in here, and it doesn't look like the Bluetooth headset's been used. To be honest, I probably won't use it because I don't like, even if I was 100% certain that the thing hadn't been used, it might have been in somebody else's ear. So I'm not keen on that idea, and I do have my own Bluetooth headset which should be compatible with it. But if you're going to buy a Warhawk, and I'm not saying that anyone should, but like I say, bearing in mind I was going for the early release games, this is one that came up, and it is the Bluetooth headset box. And the game itself actually looks fine. It looks as if it's hardly ever been played, but you know, still iffy about putting something in my ear that's been in somebody else's ears. And maybe just me being pernickety, but I don't know. So yeah, that was that, and that came up at, did I say already? That came up at £3.92. So hell, the cardboard's a bit manky, but yeah, I don't think it's going to affect it too much. No, this is one that has annoyed me, that I'm going to show you here. Now, this came up and it was a bit cheaper than I'd normally seen it, but I needed this one to complete my set of the games, and that was BlazBlue. Which one is it? Calamity Trigger Limited Edition. No, I have the other 3 limited edition boxes, but now this is from CEX Online, and what they do, if you walk into one of their shops, they have the stickers here with the price, but what they do is when you order stuff from them online, they take the stickers off. I don't know why they do this, presumably so you don't know what price it was in the shop. Maybe the web prices can sometimes be slightly different, I don't know. But whoever's been tasked with doing this and putting it in an envelope to send it to me has torn the box, you see, when they've taken the sticker off. And the sticker that's on the top, they've torn the box while taking the stickers off. Now, that is really irritating. Because it's taken the shine off something that should have been good. Now, the reason obviously I buy the limited edition isn't for the cardboard box around the outside, it's for the art book and the cards and things like that all come inside these BlazBlue games when you buy this set. And that is all fine, that is all perfectly fine, doesn't look like it's been touched, but it just takes the shine off it, you know, when it's been ripped off the box. And you know, if you're careful, you can get these off no problem. I just don't know why. You know, how many seconds did you say, Mr. Bloke who works in CEX, how many seconds did you save in your day by ripping that off really fast? You know, that's that. Well, there is actually, talking of CEX, there is actually one story that I in the last pickups video I did, I talked about when I took a trip up to Cambridge and was buying a few bits while I was up there, and I told the story about the guy in game that charged me the 50 pence for the disc care that I didn't ask for. There was actually another story that I completely forgot. And this is to do with the CEX in Cambridge. Now, and actually, I'm going to address another point with this. Now, some of you may notice that for a while I haven't actually bought any what you might call proper retro games. So like Super Nintendo or Mega Drive cartridges. Well, the simple reason for that is that, as I've said time and time again, I don't like spending money. Well, I do like spending money, but I like to think I'm getting a deal. And to be perfectly honest with you, most stuff I see, Super Nintendo and Mega Drive and stuff like that, it's very difficult getting a deal anymore. Unless you buy in so much bulk that you know you have to spend a massive chunk of money for a massive chunk of games. It is very difficult trying to find a deal anymore. But I was in that day when I went to Cambridge. What are we talking now? A month ago. I went in the CEX up there, and I saw they have like a glass case where you have to ask for stuff. You know, like these sort of boxes are all on the shelf. Obviously, the discs aren't in them, and you just take them up to the counter. But cartridge games, they all have they're in sort of big glass window boxes that you have to go and ask for. Now, I saw, what was it? It was a Mega Drive game. It was boxed. It was one of the Mick and Mac Global Gladiators. It was, and it was marked up as £8. I thought, actually, do you know what? I really like that game, and I haven't played it in so many years. I used to have a friend that had it, and I don't think I've played it since then. So we're probably talking like last year of primary school, maybe first year of secondary. Anyway, £8. I thought, do you know what? I don't think £8 is a deal for Mick and Mac Global Gladiators by any stretch of the means, but it was a nostalgia thing, and I thought, yeah, go on. But I went to the counter to ask for the thing, and the first thing I said to the guy, I said, look, is it complete? Is because again, even though it's still £8, and I still want to think that I'm getting at least, I can see it's in a box, but is the instruction manual in there and all the rest of it? Well, that's it, box, instruction, cartridge. And he was like, and he went over and he had a look and he opened the box, right, at the window, so slightly obscured, and then closed the box again and came back to the till and went, yeah, the instruction book's in there, and sort of went to ring it up, and I'm like, because he just sort of said it, and then I said, well, can I see? And he's like, oh yeah, and sort of went to him, and then his friend came along and went, no, I don't want to get anyone in trouble if anyone from CEX is watching this, but the guy that was trying to sell me the game, he's the guy that's the arsehole in this scenario, not the one that actually helped me. And there was one that worked in there, and she come over and she was like, oh, the plastic's broken on that. I said, what plastic's broken, is it? And she said, yeah, plastic's broken on the game. And the guy then did have to open it up, and he showed me, and the whole top of the cartridge had a big smash right down it, and a piece missing out of the plastic, so you could see the circuit board inside the top of the cartridge. And it was like, I just had to say that. I didn't know what to say. I just had to say, I don't want it. Do you know what? I don't want it. The guy was literally going to sell me the game, that is broken. Now, it probably would have played fine, but that's not the point. If it's broken, you have to tell people. You have to have it very clearly marked, not just, oh yeah, the instruction booklet's in it. As if when faced with a cartridge where the top is caved in, that having the instruction book is really going to be an issue at that point. Anyway, so that was a little anecdote from Game last month. Maybe both of those people aren't working there, I don't know. But yeah, so if you go there and you see Mick and Mac Global Gladiators, it might be a different one, but if you see it, then do get the guy to open it and check that cartridge, because it's smashed. Or it could be smashed. Maybe they've repaired it. I don't know. Maybe they've swapped it with another cartridge or something. I don't know how they would do it. I didn't really notice which side had broken, so maybe if it was the back side of the cartridge that was broken, maybe they could swap it out for something else. But it looked to me to be like a big gouge out the entire top of it. Anyway, do you know what? Sometimes I could chat for the country at some sort of chatting Olympics. Anyway. Yeah, no, so I already showed that I bought We Dare on the Wii. And just out of interest, I saw it come up on the PlayStation 3 as well, and I was just curious to see if it was the same game. And it turns out it almost is, but I thought I'll get the PlayStation 3 version as well. So I did. But the difference is, this was £2.93, and this was off eBay, and Like, so the one for the Wii that I bought from CEX was £1.92 used. This was £2.93 new, and this was on GameSeek through their eBay shop, because that just so happened to be where was the easiest to buy it. Now, GameSeek does actually have a website, and the interesting thing is this came, and bearing in mind it's just a cheap game, it came with a voucher inside the package when it turned up, with, you know, GameSeek and all this, that and the other. But it actually came with a voucher for 5 to 20% off your next order. It's like a random amount it gives you off your next order, from 5 to 20%. Now, I did toy with the idea of putting in a big order, but and I'll show you in a minute why I didn't. I had already spent quite a lot of money by the time after buying this, between buying it and the couple of days it took to turn up. So I decided I wasn't going to, just to try and gamble and save between 5 and 20%. But this, just know that if GameSeek does apparently do this with all their orders, they send you a voucher for the next order, but you have to order within 2 weeks. That's the caveat. So you gamble that you're going to get somewhere between 5 and 20% picked at random off your next order, but it has to be within 2 weeks of the last order, is how it works. And yeah, so that was the other thing I wanted to mention, where there's, you know, a deal. It's not exactly a rewards program, but it's, you know, if you were going to buy stuff week after week after week, it might make sense for you to do that. Right, so then I went into the CEX that's local to me, because I do every now and then just to have a look around, and yeah, they had in their window one of these, a PlayStation Move charging station. Now, I am quite a fan of the Move. I think it's quite good for what it does. It's not popular with everyone, although it is becoming far more popular now with those that have PlayStation VR. But this was a £5, and honestly, you don't often see these boxed. You often see them like hanging in little bags in game and things like that, where people have traded them in. But honestly, when I got this home and opened the box, not only has it never been used, it's actually never been opened. The stuff in here was still sort of, you know, wrapped up and everything else. It's just, you know, somebody had obviously got this as a gift and then just decided, oh, I don't want that, and traded it in. So yeah, I was really, really pleased with that. £5, couldn't believe it. I think when these came out, they were about 25 quid. And like I say, this is mint in box, honestly. I'm not going to take it all apart to show you. There's no time for that, no time. And while I was in there, just because I happened to bump into it, and like I say, I am trying to get the earlier release games for the PlayStation 3, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07. And as usual with EA games, it's not exactly scratched to buggery, but it's not in the best condition. I know what it is. People that like sports games and first-person shooters tend to, I don't know what they do. They must just kick them around their bedrooms. I have no idea, but sports games and FPS games, they're just wrecked. I don't know why. People treat them like shit. No. So, right, so now we're getting to the sort of bigger stuff. Well, one bigger stuff. So, now anyone that's following my Twitter account, you've already had a spoiler for this one, haven't you? So you know what's coming here. I was on eBay, and well, actually, do you know what? I'll show you what it is first, and then I'll give you the story behind it. So, I've joined the 8th generation. Stop laughing. And I've got a Wii U. Not only is it a Wii U, it is the 32 gigabit version. The game Nintendo Land is actually in here, and honestly, see this thing. The guy, this is from eBay, by the way, and with it, I got a boxed Wii U Pro controller. Don't look like it's ever been out of the bloody box, to be honest, when I opened it. And new Super Mario Bros. U. And this is the original version. This isn't the red box version. This isn't the featuring Luigi U, although that would have been quite nice. And honestly, that whole set, the guy said in the listing, it's been played a few times and the kids didn't really like it. But honestly, if it wasn't for the fact it had fingerprints on the gamepad, which I've since cleaned, you wouldn't have known it had ever been out of the box. It's just amazing. It is in amazing condition. And when I tell you, right, now bear in mind that if I go into Game or CEX, I will pay somewhere between 140 and 180 quid for one of these. And it will be literally the gamepad, the console, and the stuff to hook it up. It will not be in a box. It will not have Nintendo Land or any other game with it. And it will just be the console as is. And it might not even have the feet that you're supposed to rest it on. Now, this thing is utterly complete. Looks like it's barely been used. And bearing in mind as well, I got that boxed Pro controller and Super Mario Bros. U, along with the Nintendo Land game that it was meant to come bundled with as well. And I got the whole lot for £146.98, and that was including delivery. So I have got an absolute steal. That was obviously an auction. That wasn't a buy now price. But so you take away the Super Mario Brothers game, like even if I bought it pre-owned, that's 20 quid off. So we're down to 126.98. Take off the Pro controller in a box, so that's what, another 20 quid off. So that's 106.98. So effectively, I got a boxed 32 gig Wii U console that looks like it's barely been used for £106.98. Effectively. And I was absolutely chuffed to bits, and I can't think of a better way to have joined the 8th generation. If I can get a deal like that on a PlayStation 4 Pro, I will tear the guy's arm off for it. Anyway, so a little story to come after that. I obviously posted on not only on Twitter but also on a few game forums that I'm proud to join the 8th generation of gaming, and lots of people started then sending me suggestions for stuff that I should buy. And there's one I want to point out. Now, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but Ryan. So if you see this, you'll know who you are. Did actually post that Sainsbury's were doing a deal on Wii games, Wii U games rather, for a £5. They were they were shifting out their Wii U stuff for a £5 each. Now, this is going to lead me on to the next thing. So I went to the Sainsbury's website, and there's no Wii U stuff on there at all. So they've obviously discontinued it on the Sainsbury's website. Now, unfortunately, I've got two Sainsbury's near to me, and they haven't done any Wii U stuff since before Christmas. So I think they got rid of the last of it before Christmas, and they haven't got any more in. And I did ask them, and they said no, we don't do it in this store anymore. And but I thought, well, maybe if Sainsbury's aren't doing it, maybe one of the other companies that Sainsbury's own are doing it. So Argos is a company that Sainsbury's own, and I thought, oh well, maybe they're doing the same deal. If they're owned by Sainsbury's, it makes sense that they'd be doing the same deal. So I go on the Argos website, and no such luck. They're not doing any games for a £5. But then I went on to their Wii U accessories, and I managed to get two things that were on my Wii U wish list once I'd actually bought the console. And I will show you the first one. That was the GameCube controller adapter, and this came in at Argos at $11.99. So now I have got two more controllers that I can use with the Wii U, because of course I've got two GameCube controllers that I was using with the Wii. So that was brilliant for $11.99, and again, Argos, none of this is not second hand. This is absolutely brand new. You know, I thought $11.99 was a good price for brand new. And the other thing that I think they've done for an absolutely excellent price, bearing in mind this is the same price as the second hand price, and that's $16.99 for the Pokemon Tournament Fight Pad, the Hori pad. Now, I think, aside from the fact that if I buy Pokken Tournament, if I buy Pokken Tournament, this is, everyone on the internet seems to think this is one of the better pads to use for it. I think this is going to be a future collector's item for the Wii U. I think a lot of people are saying that Wii U stuff is going to be collectible, and I think for the vast majority of stuff, I think they might be kidding themselves. But for this pad, I think this is going to be. So that's my top tip. Is this is what you want if you want, you know, because bearing in mind that it's reasonably expensive, it still keeps its price quite well on the second-hand market, and it's only really useful for one game. So this isn't going to be bought by an amazing amount of people, I don't think. I think this is going to be one of these collectibles that just goes from collector to collector to collector, and I think this is going to hold its value. And bearing that in mind, I think $16.99 brand new in box was a good buy, even though obviously I'm probably going to buy a Pokken Tournament at some point, so it won't be brand new in the box by that point, because I'm definitely going to use that pad. Oh, the other thing I did want to mention about the Wii U Pro controller that I got as part of the bundle is that apparently, now I haven't tried this, but apparently if you have a Raspberry Pi 3 based emulation machine, consensus seems to be that this is definitely the best pad you can use for that. So at some point I'm going to be giving that a try as well. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that in there, because you know there's no vice like advice. Right, where have I got to? Yeah, the Argos thing. So yeah, it wasn't an amazing story, but it was a true story. Yeah, the guy put the thing and then said about Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's led me to Argos, where I actually managed to tick two things off my wish list. That was the point I'd got to. So I go back on eBay and I'm looking around for stuff that is cheap enough that I think I can just push the button. Obviously, auction. I mean, I'm not paying buy it now prices. But there was one that came up, and it was right at the end of the auction. There was literally 20 minutes to go. I think it was about 20 minutes to go. Maybe it was about an hour to go, something like that. Anyway, there wasn't long to go, and there had no bids on it. And it was where are we? Batman Arkham City, the Armoured Edition for the Wii. I keep saying the Wii, it's the Wii U. See, this is the problems you had with marketing, Nintendo. Okay, this is it in a nutshell. Even me, who knows the difference and has both the consoles, still keeps calling the thing the fucking Wii. All right. Why do you pay marketing people, Nintendo? Honestly, I mean, you've done well with the Switch. I'll give you that. So yeah, Arkham City on the Wii U. Now, the irritating thing is here that it says the gamepad is required. So I haven't actually played any of these yet. Because I haven't got the space to actually set the console up at the moment, which is unfortunate. I sort of had to dismantle my entire setup to test that it was working, because obviously you get something off eBay, you're going to test that it's working, especially when you get it so cheap. You think, no, it's bound to go wrong. But I kind of hope not, because I quite like the Batman games on the PlayStation 3, and if I had to play it with that big pad, I don't know what it adds to the game. But anyway, so I got that, and I got Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed on the Wii U, obviously, as well. And the pair of these, including postage, came in at £8, so that's £4 each. Sorry, that way round. Which isn't bad. And this is basically like the Sonic Mario Kart, but this is the special edition one, and it says it includes bonus content, which is Metal Sonic plus mods, Outrun Boy and time trials, and in-game stickers. I don't know what... Oh, and you can play as Wreck-It Ralph, apparently. Which is good. I haven't seen that film all the way through, but what I did see of it was quite funny. And this one is compatible with quite a lot of stuff, actually. Yeah, this one's compatible with lots of stuff, including the racing wheel, which I'm pleased to see, because I think since the racing wheel was invented for the Wii and the Wii U, if you got a racing game, why not use it? Doesn't make sense to not. Right, I'll put that on the Wii U pile. Goodness me, I feel like I'm running out of time. Yeah. Another 2 limited run games, Curses and Chaos. And again, you know, book, postcard, sticker. Although I have to say, the first couple of these limited run games I got came with actually quite good instruction books, but honestly, I feel like they're not trying anymore. They're just like one sheet of paper that says, you know, beware, there's some epilepsy about, or whatever it says. I don't read it. Doesn't make sense. And the other one is the Swapper. And again, another limited run game. Actually, I quite like that sticker. This black and purple. It's like Spawn or something. But yeah. And they came in at $26.95 including shipping, so slightly more, slightly less expensive than the previous 2. So yeah, $26.95 each. That's not too bad, is it? You'll get that money back even if you don't like them. Right, now the last little bundle here was, when was it? When do we know? Well, this is Wednesday night. Well, technically Thursday morning, but Wednesday night. On Monday, I went round the charity shops again, and I went into one of my favourite ones, Save the Children. Not because of what they do, but you know, selfishly, not because of what they do, but because of how they price their games. They basically price all their games up as DVDs. It's brilliant. So basically, all the games in Save the Children, well, certainly the one local to me, are £1. So all these ones I'm going to show you were £1. So that is Gun on the PlayStation 2, which again is another one that I thought I had, but when I came to inventory, turns out I didn't. Another one I've lost is Canis Canem Edit as well, which is called Bully in the States, in case you're confused. Which I thought I had, but I didn't. It's just odd. There was stuff that I was absolutely certain I had, but don't have. So maybe I've lost it, swapped it, whatever. Anyway, Gun, £1. Can't go wrong at that price. Well, actually, funny enough, I'll tell you at the end. Age of Empires 2, Age of Kings, and these are all complete. I've already de-stickered some of them, apart from one, for a good reason for that. Burnout 3 Takedown, really good game. Again, this is another one that I thought I had, but I didn't. Dragon Quest: The Journey of the Cursed King. This is sometimes one that goes for a lot, and I don't really know why, because it seems to go quite often when you see this, it will be on eBay or CEX or somewhere like that. This one is one of these games that you keep an eye on. This is, if you like, one of my trigger games that I always look for to see what the prices are doing, because this is one that fluctuates anywhere sort of between £3 and anything up to 12, sometimes 15 quid when you see it as a buy it now. And this is one that I would call a trigger game. This is one that tells you what's going on. So keep an eye on the price of this game when you see it, because that's a good indicator generally as to what sort of PS2 RPG games are doing at the time, and what they're going for. So anyway, again, that was £1. Save the children. It's not a slogan I'm using, it's the name of the shop. Beyond Good and Evil is another one. That was £1. Now, this is annoying. This was £1 as well, Fahrenheit, in case that was too quick for you. But this is one of these ones that has been through the game pre-owned system, and this is one of the irritating bastard ones that you see from time to time, where they haven't stuck the pre-owned price sticker on the actual case. They have taken the sleeve, they've taken the cover out of the sleeve and actually stuck it on the fucking cover. Now, like I say, at some point I'm going to do a video on how to get these stickers off. I do have a really good method for getting these off, but it is very time consuming. You need a lot of patience to do it, but it will take these stickers off like they've never been on there. And not using chemicals either, because I can't stand that. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to mention. When these games turned up, the Batman and the Sonic Racing, it was one of them. No, hang on, that's not it. Yeah, the Batman one smells of acetone. I don't know why. Yeah. So that was another thing that I should have mentioned, and I just noticed it as I was looking at the disc. It's like, this case really smells of acetone, like somebody's dropped a load of nail polish remover on it or something. So obviously at some point something's been on there that needed cleaning. But yeah, it's not a problem. There's quite a lot of times where I've resorted to acetone to clean games and stuff. I mean, it's, you know, it's generally okay, but you shouldn't really leave it on. And anyway. So I think we're at the end of the pickups now. How long have I banged on for? Oh no, because I had to stop it for a minute, didn't I? So that's not going to be a good indicator. So I can't think of anything else to add to this list. Any funny stories or anecdotes? What I will say is that, like I say, I'm inventorying my stuff at the moment, and I'm coming up with stuff that I thought I should have had or did have, but for some reason can't seem to find anymore. So I'm getting slightly panicky about what's been going on. Although, like I say, I am going to be moving quite a lot of my games to somewhere else. Because at the moment I'm literally jumping over them, needing to get stuff done, and it is beginning to sort of clutter up the space I've got available. So I'm basically borrowing some storage off somebody for the time being, and possibly being able to record my stuff there as well, so I don't need to do it so late, basically. So I should be able to do some stuff during the day, but that might be this, that might be next month, that could be 3-4 months time. I'm not sure on the time scale yet. I just have to sort of get round and sort some things out, and yeah. So next time you see one of these videos, it might be here or it might be somewhere else. I'm not sure. I don't want to go too much into it, but yeah, just so you know, it's sort of largely irrelevant, really, because you're not watching the videos to see what I'm doing. You're watching the videos to see what I've bought, I suppose. That's kind of the point of these things. But yeah, I'll just throw it out there anyway. So, goodness me, what a lot of pickups. Yeah. What do I normally do at the end of these things? Yes. So the Twitter thing is there if you need to spend the day twatting at me. You can use that. Comments on YouTube or whatever, and most of all subscribe, because I think I'm dropping subscribers. I'm pretty sure I had more than what I've got at the moment. I don't know. I might be miscounting, but I think, because people have been mentioning that YouTube is randomly just dropping subscribers. So if you were subscribed and for some reason you're not anymore, then please do resubscribe. Oh, right, I mean, it's up to you, really, but you can resubscribe. I haven't kicked you off. It's something to do with YouTube. I don't know. But it seems to be the more stuff you upload at the one time, it randomly drops a subscriber for no reason. Something's sort of broken. Anyway, so yeah. Subscribe, like, comment if you want to. And yeah, you feel free to peruse around my channel and see if there's anything else that you might like to have a look at. Yeah, that's about it. This is now, like I did. I just want to mention briefly at the end of this. There is stuff that I thought I had that I don't actually have. As I've been inventorying my stuff, because I've sort of had to, and so I'm probably at in the next couple of days having to do an order to sort of or go and find not randomly pick up stuff. I'm going to be doing a specific order to get a few things that I thought I should have but don't. Provided I can find them cheap enough. So that might mean that I do some sort of mini pickups video, although I might not have the time or really, excuse me, or really see the point in doing it once I've done it. But I will certainly try and show everything that I get. But so there might be, the next thing might be in a few weeks' time, there's like a mini pickups video, or I might leave it 2 months again. And to be perfectly honest, I think I've spent enough money to last me the next 2 months. So anyway, I'm beginning to ramble, and I'm sort of trying to work out in my own head what the next video is going to be. Just rest assured and stay tuned, there will be another pickups video. I'm just not exactly sure when it will be, or how long it will be, because this one has only been a month and it's been an hour long. So obviously these things don't fit to some sort of formula, although hopefully everyone enjoyed the sort of storytelling aspect. But if you didn't, then you can leave in the comments that you didn't enjoy that. Right, I'm going to let you get on with your life, and I'm going to have to tidy all this up and put stuff away. So I will see you in the next video. Go and have a look at some of my other stuff. Subscribe. You know, the usual thing. I don't need to repeat it again. And I will see you next time.